Welcome back to the Pedal Progressions podcast, where progression is the obsession. We are outside at the Taco Tuesday Not Studio at Cannonsburg. I'm looking at our monitor upstairs in the nice warm room.
Pedal Progressions Alfresco.
That works. I'm joined by the voice you just heard, Craig Fozzie, and Kellen Johnson, as always, and I'm Brian Zajac. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. The Building Blocks Foundation, providing speech to underserved populations in Greater Grand Rapids, and we could really use some donations going into the winter. It's buildingblocksfoundationinc.org. Also, new sponsor as of last episode, komcycling.com. You could use our code PPP15 for 15% off at checkout. Check out the website. It is awesome. They have a bunch of stuff that Kellen likes to use, and soon Craig and I will like to use as well. We just need to get it in the mail. Also, 8th Day Gym, 8thdayGym.com. Check out the Burn intro offer. Winter is coming. Don't come out of the winter worse than you went into it. Make it a point to be better coming out, and your whole summer will be much better, I promise you. And the Susan Mast ALS Foundation. They are, at this point, we have done the ride, and it was awesome, I think.
Woo!
We're going to find out. But by the time you hear this, we've already done it, and it is going to be a party, and we will talk about it on the next episode.
Hi, friends. We have some things coming up. Most importantly, we're getting together on Thursdays. So, Merrill, September 18th. I think typically we start the ride around 6 o'clock.
Hot laps at 5, slower laps at 6,
Here we go.
tequilas at after.
Wow. I've seen at one point in time these Thursday rides, somebody shows up with a Pelican case with foam insulation and their shot glasses and tequila. I don't know. It was all a blur. I don't remember it that well. But show up for things like that on Thursday nights. Come ride with us. Come hang out. We've got Merrill on the calendar upcoming September 18th. We've got Cannonsburg on the 25th of September. And then moving into October, we've got Luton coming up 10-12. And then 10-9 Richmond. We might have to get into Two Trick Tony's ear because maybe we get timing set up for that and combine that with a race league.
And we do 4 runs instead of 2.
That would be awesome. And there's tons of different options for how we can slice and dice that lap. So definitely keep an eye on our Instagram page for more updates on our weekly rides. Boyne Highlands. I will forever call it Boyne Highlands. It is technically Highlands at Harbor Springs, but pinkies up. That's gross. Their season is coming to an end mid-October. We love downhill party laps, and we know you do too. So keep an eye out. I think there's going to be at least one of us up there every single weekend just about between now and the end of October or the middle of October when their final day of bike park season is.
I've been trying to get Jenny Acker to come up with Matt for the costume party because I know they could win.
And is that always on the last day?
No, it's always the day before the last day. It's on Saturday. So I am working the Ackers to try to get us some season passes because they won't use them.
So mid-October is typically when the Highlands lift stops spinning for bikes. But make sure you don't forget. Get up there, get your turns in, get your jumps in, support them. Come hang out with us. And then the most important race of the year.
Ride.
It's a ride that's timed, and the times just so happen to be organized in ascending manner. Bootleg. Copper Ridge. I hear rumors that this may look more like an enduro than a downhill. But you're going to have to stay tuned to this podcast and our Instagram page for more details. November 9th is when it's happening, the day after Iceman. Callan, where can people find our social media?
They can find us on Instagram at pedal_progressions_podcast. We have the link tree below that, and you can find our merch store there Everything you buy from the merch store goes right back into the podcast, makes it better. You can also email us at pedalprogressions@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Ask us some questions. Leave us any type of message. Tell us if we suck. Tell us we're great. Whatever you want. We love hearing it. So for this episode, we had Matt, Nathan, and David on from the Eclipse on Tap podcast. This was a fun episode. We all learned a lot on this episode. Some of my highlights of it were, what is Underberg and what does it do? We talk about the natural phenomenons that happen before, during, and after a solar eclipse. We also talk about how track cycling and buying a new car negotiations are similar. We talk about racing bikes on actual race car racetracks. And we have Gordon Ramsay trash talk us while riding Zwift. So without further ado, here is the guys from Eclipse on Tap.
So we rolled the dice on a live event. It was the cracked frame event.
Oh yeah.
And never tested it.
Craig,
and
fix your mic and put it in the middle. Because right now you're talking to them and it's not picking it up.
I am talking to them.
Oh, in the middle. That's a good call.
How's that? Now
Lot
it's on a
better.
dangly thing.
I'll tell you when everyone stops
Probably
messing with their mic.
That's going to be the killer, right?
All the cool YouTubers are putting the Rode mics on their hat nowadays.
I mean, that's the thing.
With the little windsock.
For all of those
Yeah.
that have hats, that's not a bad idea.
Clip it to your nostrils.
Today, we're joined by the Eclipse on Tap podcast and bike team.
Yeah.
Matt, Nathan, and David. And if I would have
You understood the assignment.
thought about it, I would have put the names in order on here. I didn't know where everyone was sitting, though. They do a podcast that I'm a fan of that is half biking, half space.
It's a pretty good assessment.
Yeah.
A lot of beer. Yeah.
A lot of beer.
Yep.
A lot of Underbergs.
Yeah, we're going to try our first ones later
Let's do it.
in this episode.
What
gonna try
is
what?
an Underberg? I've never heard of an Underberg.
It's a herbal digestive. So it's got a food categorization within the states. It's kind of a medicinal to settle your stomach after a good meal. Their slogan is "Make you feel bright and alert," but it is a digestive, so helps just settle you after a large meal.
No.
So it can be used as a bitters too,
Oh.
or
It sort of has
just
a-
taken as a shot.
Yeah, it sort of has like taken on this cult following in the United States, and so there's just a big undercurrent of Underberg fans really all over the place. It's a special product for sure, and we're happy to be partnered up with them, and yeah, we'll be proud to be your guys' first Underberg
Yeah.
co-Underberg
Oh, yeah.
Underbergies.
I'm excited as a fan of the Instagram. I've watched them cracked and drinking.
Yep.
Many times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Does it taste better or worse than Malort?
Better.
Yeah.
Way better.
I'm all the way.
Way
in.
better. No, it's spicy though. It's like it's got some like star anise. Like, well, there's only family members of the family of Underberg that know the actual recipe. But you pick up on like there's some, cinnamon. There's just a lot of different things going on in it.
Very
It's-
herbal.
It's
Yeah.
like the
Yes.
Colonel's 11 secret spices.
Exactly.
Yep.
That wasn't the first question I was going to ask, but how did you guys get hooked up with them?
Yeah, it's a funny story, and yeah, thanks for having us on. We're excited to be here at Cannonsburg. But yeah, it dates back probably, I don't know, 6 or so years ago. We were on our way, the three of us, we're in the car on the way to Truck World Cup in Waterloo, Wisconsin. Driving from Grand Rapids, sitting in the back seat. By this time, and we can go into the details more about how the cycling team sort of grew out of the podcast initially. But the cycling team had formed, and so we were riding for Eclipse on Tap, right? And excited to go out there. Nathan was going to race. David and I were going to drink beer and spectate. And I was sitting in the back seat. We were talking about like what the team could be, and it would be nice to have a partner, right? And we'd formed some relationships with local brands, and it was very friendship-based and very much like, we'll shout you out on the podcast, and maybe we'll get some beer from you or whatever. And that's sort of what we were initially thinking Underberg would be. We were introduced to them via Speciation Artisan Ales, which is another super good friend and partner of ours. They make mostly sour beers, and the sour beers are amazing, but after a few in a row, your stomach might get a little flipped. So they are huge Underberg fans. It's at the bar. You take one after a couple of those beers, and you feel great. So they're that cult following I was describing. Speciation's like the number one fan. They're all in on Underberg. So we're there, and we had been introduced via Speciation. I went to the Underberg website, and I just clicked the Contact Us page. It was one of those pages that you just know is destined to never get read. There's no way that this could work. And it described what our podcast was and sort of what we were interested in doing. And then a couple weeks go by, and I was headed out to ride at the Underground Trail, which is a favorite of ours. And I get a phone call from this guy named Martin Bignell. He's this British guy, and he ran the United States and UK sales for Underberg. And he said, I love what you guys are doing. And I said, well, would you be interested in partnering up? And he mentioned that Underberg had really never done anything like that before. And I was like, well,
Your website says otherwise.
Yeah, this is just us, like our little thing, right? And he's like, let's do it. Let's go in. So they sent us a bunch of Underberg, a bunch of swag, a bunch of fun stuff, and then it only grew from there. And now Patrick is the new contact for us, and a great guy. Martin sailed off into the sunset of his career. He retired, and we kept it rolling, and it's been super fun. So
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years now.
yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
your team's big.
yeah.
That's grown too.
Yeah, it was one of the things I was looking on the website, and I was trying to figure out which came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
Was the bike team first or the podcast? But I mean, you just answered that with the podcast.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it always like just the three of you
No,
chilling?
no,
We
in
want to
fact-
talk about it, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden we're going to grow into a big bike team.
Let them
Yeah, no.
let them take that one.
Yeah, it actually it started in 2017 at the Eclipse. We went down. Matt and I went with my dad and another friend of ours, and that's really the genesis of Eclipse on Tap. We went down and we're so inspired by it. My dad has always had a telescope growing up and all that, and we are always out in the summer nights looking in through the telescope at the night sky. So I've loved Apollo and all the different, space exploration that we've done throughout history. And we went to the Eclipse, and Matt and I just got really inspired by it and wanted to just share the Eclipse experience with other people that haven't seen it before, and get them motivated to go to 2024, which is the main, really the reason we started it, is just to talk about it and because we were so passionate about it. So the first probably couple of years or at least probably 3 years, is just us literally talking about eclipses the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
but we honestly, that's all it was. We were at a bar one night and just started talking about how cool it would be to get other people excited to go to the next one and have them able to experience it too. And then one of those people is my brother here, Nathan. So
I would have been there in 2017, but I had a 3-month-old,
Yeah.
and it wasn't responsible of me to go.
It wasn't in the cards. Yeah.
That's not a good
Yeah.
excuse to leave the house.
Yeah.
Hey, honey.
It's a
Yeah.
celestial
Going on a road
event.
trip.
Come on.
See ya.
Yep. So we got Nathan to go. We got quite a few people to go actually. But before even the 2024 Eclipse, we kind of along the way. I mean, I've got a background in road cycling. My brother does. Matt had just gotten into it, having married our younger sister, so he was getting into it too. And we had a bunch of friends that locally that did it too. So we were like, let's just make a kit and wear our own logo. So we started doing that, and then that's just kind of grown from there. But we started that just a few years before the actual Eclipse
Yeah.
of
Yeah, I think
2024.
I think it was 2020
Yeah.
when the team formed, and we'd all been riding with a club team, and we were just kind of like, well, I don't know, this has been kind of an idea for a while to make a kit, just generally.
In
And then
2020, there was no racing going on,
Yeah.
so it was like, let's make one for our podcast. I mean, you're not feeling obligated to wear anybody's kit at that point. They're
Yeah,
just going out and doing your rides.
I feel like during that time, like sort of being cooped up, a lot of like creative things came out of that time, in a lot of places, right? You hear about it all the time, and so that was sort of like our endeavor into that world, dipping into it all. And yeah, the one of the things that inspired the podcast too is when we got back to Michigan. Michigan had like an 80-something% eclipse, so you could see the partial, but which is very cool. But the totality is where it's at. We always say that 99% total equals 0% totality, right? It's either 99% or nothing, or sorry,
100%.
totality, 100% eclipse or nothing. And so we got back to Michigan, and people were like, "Yeah, it was cool." We were like, "No, this was awe-inspiring," and that was the inspiration. We're sitting at the bar, yeah, like David said, and thinking like, do we do like a YouTube channel? And I don't know about that. And so we're like, let's try a podcast. And so it began. We had a little like webcam mic and a little two mic mixer. Very, very remedial. Or no, sorry, that was even before the mixer.
Yeah.
We just had the little webcam mic and yeah, just did it for a while like that. And then Nathan joined as a co-host in 2018 or 19.
I think it was 19 because then we started the team in 20.
Yeah. Yeah, so it grew from there, and this actually, 10 days or no, 5 days from now, it'll be the 8th anniversary of the podcast. So
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
That's a great run.
yeah, it's been fun, and it's just been a very organic growth. Like I said, even with the relationships we've built with different brands, it's all they're all friends of ours. So it's been a pretty special thing. We're grateful for it.
So, for those who haven't experienced a total eclipse, talk us through it. What's it like?
Do you follow our Instagram?
Not yet, but I will.
Oh, yeah. You gotta follow.
I was following the live stream, and I was telling Matt before you guys got here that right when you guys were counting down to totality, Instagram froze, and I was like, no, because I was down in
We
Tennessee.
crashed it.
Yeah, basically, I was down in Tennessee, and I drove all the way back because I thought I had to work, and then my boss was like, oh, we're not going to work today, and I was in totality and drove out of it.
Oh, no.
So I was super butthurt, and I was wrenching at Rebel Bike Shop that day because I just had the day off, so I'm like, I'll go in and make some extra money, and watched it. But I was so mad when you guys' thing
Yeah.
cut out.
You guys don't have. Oh, you do have footage of the first
We do.
total.
Yeah.
But I was the reason I asked is if you watch our video from April 27 to 2024, you'll get
April 8th.
April 8th. I'm sorry, throwing out my daughter's birthday.
It
April
shows me
8th.
how important
Yeah.
eclipses are. Daughter's
Well,
birthday,
see,
totality.
that goes
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to 2017. My daughter was born April 27. No, but if you go back and look at our video, that's my first experience of totality.
Cool.
And like for me, looking around, I didn't know what to expect. I knew what to expect, but I didn't know when it was like okay to take my glasses off and look and everything. David and Matt did, having been there before, and so I wait like 10 seconds. And then I look at it, and you'll get a genuine like, holy shit moment.
Yeah.
Sorry if we're not supposed to.
You can
swear.
swear.
Okay.
Oh, anything you want.
Just click the explicit button. We're good.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's a very special and rare celestial event to be in a total solar eclipse. Of course, it's when the moon is just aligned perfectly where it's blocking out the sun, and that shadow that's cast down it's the world's largest shadow. It's the largest shadow that could ever be.
It looks like a storm coming at you.
Yeah,
It gets
like
cold.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, you drop
Yeah.
like 15 to 20 degrees as it's approaching, depending on the distance of where the moon is. So in 2017, the moon was eclipsing the sun in a way that the shadow was a bit smaller. The totality path essentially was 70 miles wide. And so that changes things with how fast it's moving and, of course, the duration of how much you're in darkness. And in 2024, it was like 140 miles, 150, I can't remember exactly, but it was much larger, and so therefore you get a longer totality. And you see this disk of shadow coming over the horizon, and it starts to get a little bit dark, and then as it eclipses, there's this 360-degree sunset effect because you're getting the shadow, and the light beyond the shadow is still just as it would be in any other afternoon. So you get this wild sunset effect. The birds start calming down, and the crickets start chirping as if it was night. And
It feels like this time of day.
yeah,
Like
The shadows are wild. They're like
Yeah.
pixelated.
Yeah.
Like when you
Yeah.
look down at the shadow, you're like, oh wow.
But yeah, I was always like, oh, whatever, it's, Eclipse, whatever. But I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, and you guys ever heard of the guy Smarter Every Day?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like he did a good one on that Eclipse, and there's a bunch of like phenomena that happen. Like you call them like snake
Yeah. Shadow
snake-like
bands.
shadows, and then like you can all the little holes that go through like leaves. You can see all the like eclipse in every single shadow. Just a bunch
Yeah.
of cool things I had no idea had happened, and
Yeah.
actually, it's like, hey, that's actually pretty cool to be and see. I
Yeah.
had no idea there's all this other stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah, it's all these pre-totality phenomena that occur. Like this table in front of us here, this sort of graded table. If an eclipse was happening, even at the point the moon is it's only blocking out 25% of the sun or something. It's casting down a wonky shadow still, and it goes through a hole, and normally that hole would just appear to be the shape of the grate, but you actually get the shape of the sort of crescent that's forming there, and you can see it looking like a Pac-Man slowly but surely, sort of eating the sun, right, in a way. And then when it's all said and done and totality hits, you get these crazy events right before totality where you can even, due to the terrain of the moon, like the mountains on the moon, you get these effects. It's called Bailey's beads. So the sun, the last little bit of the sun is shining through, and it's casting it over top of those mountains, and so it kind of shimmers right before it hits, and it's crazy.
That's what causes
Yeah.
those snake-like looking things.
But
Looks like the
That's all during the pre-eclipse.
Yeah.
And I don't know the exact details, but I think it has something to do with the way that the light is being refracted differently, and
Yeah.
it's kind of casting these.
I
running
recommend
shadows.
that Smart Everyday Guide. If you can find
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
Eclipse one, there is so many cool things that happen that I had no idea, and yeah, it made me more wanting to go see an actual eclipse
Right on.
myself.
Yeah, he's
Yeah. Right.
he's an awesome guy. His name's Destin, and he's one of the best, I think, out there that digests complex information and spits it out in videos that are really easy to understand and inspiring in a lot of ways. He's a great YouTube.
And you guys, I was listening to the episodes leading up. Also, a good resource, the Eclipse on Tap podcast.
Yeah.
But
Available on any podcast platform.
you guys rented an RV because you were not going to be screwed by clouds,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
and you kind of figured out, like, you did a bunch of episodes leading up to totality and kind of updating people where you were going to be on the road, and then finally decided and let it rip, and then you had a bunch of live videos going down, so you can kind of see like the buildup of, I mean, I would say your Super Bowl, but Super Bowls don't happen, or Super Bowls happen every year, and this does not. So this is a much bigger deal, bigger than like the Olympics and stuff. So seeing the like genuine excitement, I think that is what drew me to wanting to watch the eclipse. Because like Kellen, I was like, it's an eclipse. I've seen them before. I'm old. I saw one in Hawaii, like whatever. And but like your guys' genuine excitement for seeing it and getting into it, like, really ramped me up for it. And that's like when I started reaching out, because we were pretty new at the time, and that was pretty awesome. But I need to know.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying that. That's a rewarding feeling for us, certainly, to hear that we inspired somebody.
That's what it's all about. I mean, yeah, it's a cycling team, but really it's all about just like our enthusiasm for what they experienced in 2017, and then it's morphed. I mean, you can only talk about eclipses when
Every day.
But we talk about other space news, and there's been a lot going on in with Starlink and with SpaceX, and then with NASA and everything else. So we've kind of morphed and expanded it just beyond just eclipses, and then we find things to talk about in between.
Oh, yeah.
Aliens and
All sorts of stuff.
UFOs, everything.
Literally everything, yeah.
I need to know where the name came from. Like, that's the burning number one question, because I love the name and
Yeah.
the logo, and I
Yeah.
want to know where they came from.
I honestly don't even know. we were just kind of sitting around brainstorming one day. I think
At the bar.
At the bar.
At Houlihan's.
Was that at Houlihan's?
Yeah.
We just were kind of just shooting the shit, trying to figure out a name. The name came first.
Well, but you guys
we wanted
also
to do.
early on, like, you would always feature a space-themed beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it kind of the connection between beer and eclipses.
Yeah.
We wanted to make it like in the podcast description. If you go where we have, like, if you go to Apple Podcast, you can see the description of the podcast. It really is a casual conversational podcast where we just want people to feel like they can just crack a beer with us. So that was kind of like the idea to begin with. So that's, I think, where we got the Eclipse on Tap deal. But Eclipse, because we were obsessed with Eclipses and still are, on tap because we were going to have a beer anyway, so why not
And
add
it felt
that
like
on there too. So
we didn't want to. We certainly weren't. None of us have a background at all in astronomy or space exploration of any kind, other than just as being kids and being interested. But professionally, not a lick of it. And there's podcasts out there that will talk about the recent rocket launch and the foot-pound thrust and all. They'll get into the details, and that's fantastic. There's a place for that. But we wanted to fill this niche of like people that could just listen and be on the same level as us and just get enthusiastic about it, drinking a beer, Eclipse on Tap, and then the logo. We were at Houlihan's, which is no longer a bar, but at the corner of Burton and Breton. It was the local watering hole for a lot of years, and I think if I remember right, we were literally like drawing logos on a napkin, on a bar napkin, and we came up with the idea. Like obviously you've got an eclipse, the moon coming across. Like we wanted to come up with that in a way that would be, I don't know, be able to be seen from afar and recognizable, I suppose. And so, yeah, that's how it came to be.
yeah, the actual original logo was a beer tap being poured into a pint, and then the actual beer was a silhouette of an eclipse in the beer.
Like
But
where the beer foam would be was like an
we
eclipse.
shortly after, about a year or so, we changed to the current.
Yeah, we had
But,
the idea always of having this like more typographic logo, right? But the logo David's describing is very, I think we made it on Microsoft Paint, but it turned out really well. It was a lot of fun to make, and it's sort of become a fun thing to look back at. Right? We have like a little plastic wall hanging with the old logo stamped, and it's hanging in all of our little lounge or den areas, respectively. But yeah, it's been a fun journey. It's been a very fun ride.
Is this the first time you've done a podcast that you could literally go and get a beer on tap?
Ooh, yes.
No.
Oh,
We
dang
record
it.
at the brewery a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, which brewery?
Speciation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
We-
background noise doesn't phase you at all.
No.
No.
Pros.
We've had Broadleaf was our first.
Broadleaf.
Uh,
If you've ever been there in their upper, like, it's like container.
Oh yeah,
kind of-
I've never been
that
upstairs.
upper loft. We
Yeah.
recorded up there once.
Cool.
I played pickleball there.
Nice.
yeah.
Previous guest Larry Lynch is their pickleball sponsor
Oh, yeah.
from Local Roots podcast.
Sweet.
Okay.
Or the disbanded now Local Roots podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the same situation. But I think what drew me to listening to you guys was that you did still have a cycling theme.
Yeah.
And am I wrong to say that you guys are mostly road as opposed to mountain? Or do you like
yeah,
kind of
pretty
mix?
balanced.
We're pretty balanced, but we all got our start on the road. So, like, David and I started, I don't know, 25 years ago, probably. Yeah, 25 years ago, we started road cycling, and then, it kind of went from there. And I don't know, 15 years ago, I started mountain biking, and then, that kind of has taken off with gravel, and we've done cross, as was mentioned earlier, but gravel, cross, road, mountain, anything you want to do. David's been national champ on the track too.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Like indoor track, the Velodrome or whatever what do they call it.
Not indoor. It was the Major Taylor Velodrome. I started racing track in college, so it was an outdoor concrete velodrome, which was definitely, it was never something I had done before. I had just been purely road leading up to that point, and I dabbled in a little bit of Kiss Cross. But yeah, went to college, raced the track, learned how to ride a bike with no free wheel and no brakes. And so it was very interesting, and I managed to exit unscathed, never fell on the track. But yeah, that's what I did for 4 years in college.
That's
But
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, we just talked about this last podcast. We had lots of questions. Maybe you can answer one of my questions.
This is the burning question. I think it's
Yeah.
it's gonna go where I'm
When
guessing it's gonna go.
some of the races, they get into a track stand and they just stare at each other and wait for the other person to go. What is going on? Why are they just track standing? Why are they just sprinting?
That's a sprint basically. So it's usually 2-up sprint, and they do like a couple different rounds to get to the finals. But it's usually just 2 guys, and you're at a disadvantage if you're the first guy. So
Because you can't draft, I'm assuming.
you can, but you're just at a disadvantage if you're the first guy because you can't really. You're having to look behind you. The guy behind you has he kind of owns you at that point because he can decide he's going to attack at any point in time and use the banking of the track to his advantage, all that kind of stuff. So it's really a fight to be in the back, the second wheel.
If you're first, you're reacting. If you're second, then you're
Initiating.
Then you're always. I mean, the guy in first, you're always having to look over your shoulder the whole time, and you're in a compromising position there. So that's why they do that, to try to. It's like a poker game to try to get the guy to flinch and move forward, and see how long he can track stand basically until the other guy moves.
That makes sense.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
like buying a car. So when the offer is slid over to you and there's that awkward silence, the first person to speak loses.
Yeah, that's right. So is that the best you can do?
Do you know
Yeah.
Brant Handler then?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I ride downhill stuff with Brant and
Okay.
then help him out at his at Machine Star and stuff. Go
Oh,
down
okay.
there, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I've worked
going-
there too. So yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Going way back to when David and I first got serious about road cycling, we were on a different team, and then Brant, Jason Switlowski, Jameson Hendler, they were all part of West Michigan Coast Riders and recruited us because they were kind of doing this Devo team, guys, younger guys that were, showed some promise or whatever. So yeah, Brant's been a great friend and a mentor, and yeah.
He's currently texting me, asking me if I want to go to Boyne Highlands this weekend.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
I told him I'm 35% yes because I have a gravel ride for the one of our sponsors, the Susan Mast ALS thing.
yeah, pedals.
So we're doing the pedals ride, or I'm doing the pedals ride at least. And I'm doing the gravel one because I ride this trail twice a week. So it seemed silly for me to do the mountain bike one. I wanted to
Right.
step out of my comfort zone, but I'm terrified of road. So I didn't want to go that way either. I had to borrow a bike from Eric Graff. I got to pick it up at some point this week. 'Cause
Nice.
Yeah.
riding the mountain bike and gravel rides kind of sucks.
Oh yeah.
It does. It does. Yeah.
Been there for sure.
So you guys ride road bike. You have a series that you actually ride at Granton Racetrack.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
right.
It's horrible.
I've ridden that track on my motorcycle before. It was kind of one of those, hey, just come ride it once, and that was
Yeah.
cool on a motorcycle. But I think that'd be fun on a road bike too.
Yeah, it's been going on for over 40 years. Skip and Diane Obermeyer were the original founders of it, and Brian Obermeyer, their son, runs it now. It occurs every Wednesday from the first Wednesday in May through the last Wednesday in August. And it's a blast because it's all-out racing. It's very challenging, but it's also got an air of exhibition to it. So it's not like people take it seriously enough to be competitive, but not seriously enough where it's like a real race, I guess. So and then you can accrue points each from week to week, and then at the end there's a season's points champion. David was in 2022. It's a blast. It's really a good time, and it's well run. And we've made a habit out of after we race, we've got our team tent. We set it up and drink beers and hang out and do a little post ride tailgate in a way. But yeah, that just wrapped up. It was a bit of a rocky start to the season because it rained every Wednesday. It'd be sunny.
For as little rain as we had all summer, every Wednesday it rained.
It was cursed.
It affected my work too.
Yeah.
So I was very aware also of
Yeah.
it rained every Wednesday because
Yeah.
that was like the big day for work. I was gonna come over and say hi at you guys' tent, but I got the dreaded text. I thought you were gonna be home earlier. And I live like a couple minutes away, so like I had to go home.
Yeah.
To not do anything.
Right.
For her to watch TV and play on her phone and not acknowledge me.
So do they cancel the race that
So-
week if it's
Yeah.
raining? I was going to ask if you got special tires you got to swap to or
No.
what? Yeah, okay.
Back in the day, you raced rain or shine when
Yeah.
Skip and Diane ran that thing, and it gets dicey in the rain because it's a racetrack. So all week long they've got cars, go-karts, motorcycles, whatever, racing on it. There's oil all over it, and as soon as it starts raining, it's like grease.
And
you
it's
just-
already
Yeah.
smooth, right?
And it's
Yeah.
off camber.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple turns
Yeah.
that like you're like I got a flat tire, and like my last lap that I did, I was skipping down the off camber stuff because I mean we're going 25. Like the Bs, I guess they used to average like what 18, 19, and now the Bs are averaging 23, 25. So it's all out 170, 190 heart rate.
Oh yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
So
For
how many laps?
16,
or what's,
20
What's
laps.
the distance?
It's
Yeah.
all based on the time of year. So like, around the summer equinox, he'll run us for the A's. We did what
30.
22.
Yeah.
to-
We did
or
25.
no, yeah,
25.
to 28
Laps or miles?
Laps.
laps, and it's like 1.7, 1.8.
I think it's just a little under 2 miles per
Yeah.
lap.
But then like end of the season, it goes down to 18, 20, just because you run out of daylight.
It's fun. It really was a good time. I would not do it on a 2001 bike again. Definitely borrow one.
That you just pulled off your Zwift trainer.
Yeah, I pulled the wheel out of a dumpster at the bike shop, which is probably how I got flat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's 2 categories, A's and B's, and so when it's very accessible when you first get out there, and you can warm up even and just do laps out there in advance of the ride starting, and then just kind of get used to it over the course of weeks.
That's where we all got our start, I
Yeah,
think.
absolutely.
Because it's a low barrier to entry. You don't have to have like a USAC license. You're not doing a criterium. So it's just a playground to like kind of see if you like road cycling and go from there. For us, it hooked us.
In a closed course.
Yeah,
which is
that's
yours.
also nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Road cycling's
It's
never appealed
wide.
to me, but that's the one time I'm like, yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah.
you
Just
got
ride
a
race
bike
bike.
that won like state championships, don't you?
I have a road bike that is a state champion from some high schooler. And
There you
now it lives on a trainer, but it's a championship bike.
There you go.
Hey.
It's got a pedigree.
Not by me.
Yeah, it's a really fun. Yeah, like Nathan was saying, it has this like sandbox level to it, right? Where once you do get involved, then everyone starts in the B's, maybe race that for a few years, and then if you're finding your footing, and maybe you get upgraded to the A's, and then once you're there, most people in the A's are on a team, and so then it truly is a sandbox for team tactics, strategy. Maybe take a flyer and attack and see if you can form a breakaway. All the things that go with cycling or road cycling in particular, which are so fun to watch. When you're watching things like the Tour de France, get to try out that in a closed course environment in fast-paced racing. Good workout. Yeah, it's a fantastic event.
It's a good developmental platform too. Like we said, for all of us, we started riding out there, and there are other guys that have ridden out there too. A couple of guys that have gone on to race the Tour de France. So local guys that started riding at Grattan and went and in their late 20s, early 30s are racing the Tour de France. So it's definitely, it's very high. At least for the most part, it's highly competitive out there, and it's a good, I think, launch pad to get you started. And if you take that, if you're a mountain biker, and you go out there and you want to, use that for a good training session or whatever it happens to be, I think it's a good launch pad for everybody, really. Yep.
Do you guys do like primarily mountain bike, road, gravel?
We're mostly gravity mountain bikes, so it's
Okay.
like, well, I guess we mostly ride cross country just because of location, but
Yeah.
our gearing is towards gravity.
Okay.
Craig races downhill. I used to race downhill, but race enduro.
So that's how
Kellen
you know the
rides with
handlers,
me
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brant, if you listen to this, I'm still faster than you.
Where's the best place to do that sort of down country in the Michigan? Up north, probably.
Is it
Marquette.
Moines?
Well, I just went to Sault Ste. Marie like a week ago, and that was pretty epic. Like the accessibility to trails for the effort you got to put in. It was hard work. Everything was super steep, really punchy. Like you think Cannonsburg's punchy, then you get to Sault Ste. Marie. Because normally, like I'll have friends that come from Colorado and stuff, and we'll ride here and they'll die because
Yeah.
they're so used to like long climbs.
Yeah.
And you get out here and their heart rate's at 180 and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
That was me in Sault Ste. Marie, where I'm trained for that specific thing, and I'm riding with like 4 of the 5 fastest guys in Sault Ste. Marie, which I didn't know. Like I just thought I'm just getting my ass kicked by these guys. Who are these guys?
Yeah.
Well, you put a generic message out on Facebook.
yeah.
It's like, hey, looking for a tour guide, and these guys show up, and Brian afterwards goes on Strava, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, me. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of trophies from Sault Ste. Marie because trying to keep up with these guys.
Yeah, that's
I'm,
awesome.
like dying while doing it.
That's awesome.
But
I would say that Boyne Highlands set the hook for me
Yeah.
in terms of mountain biking in
Okay.
general. Just the concept of I can throw my bike on a chairlift
Yeah.
and get taken to the gluttonous, hedonistic fun was like fully, I'm all the way in.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Craig helped we built the skills park here.
Oh, cool.
That was, my friend Andy and I kind of took it over when it was in like disrepair. Shortly after we met Kellen, he had a broken ankle. He was coming through with his dog, and he joined the crew. And at one point, we had like 30 people that would come out on Wednesday nights, and we'd do dig and ride and stuff. And that's like where most of us know each other from and our backgrounds. And
Okay.
then like as we've progressed, started going on bike trips and realizing like I can only ride for 3 hours before my legs fall off. So like, oh, we better start riding some cross
Hey,
country.
go out to Grattan. That'll
Grattan,
get you in shape.
gravel, like all these things. Like, let's get in shape.
Yeah.
Ride 2,000 to 4,000 miles a year, and like now we can do 3-4 rides in Bentonville without compromising dying.
Yeah.
Because we do big enough features where like there are consequences to them if you mess up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And being tired is the number one way to end up on your face.
Was spoiled this afternoon. We stopped by the biked transition demo.
Oh yeah.
So all the way out in Bellingham, Washington on the west coast, they're Transition's big mountain bike manufacturer, and they've got one poor guy. He is responsible for driving a Sprinter van, pulling a trailer full of bikes
That's living the dream.
all
That's
the
not
way
one
across
poor
the
guy.
country. I think for the first few locations that would be the case.
Yeah.
But like 3 or 4 weeks in,
Yeah.
you might get a little sick of it.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah, he was chipper. He was setting guys up on e-bikes and spurs, and Transition had their entire line
I was gonna say
That's awesome.
in that trailer. So
that sounds like domestic pro road cycling right there. The life of a mechanic for a
just a vagabond. Yep.
He's just driving a trailer around. Yep.
Craig had an e-bike. So did everyone else we normally ride with. So basically, I rode 4 miles, but my heart rate never was below like 180. Well, it was so nice having their words of encouragement behind
Craig's
me. Oh,
smoking a cigarette.
Look, you guys are doing pretty well.
It was a phenomenal role reversal because normally we ride before the pod here at Cannonsburg, and Brian's like, "You go first, Craig, because if I go first, I'm gonna kill you," which is very true. And he's just chatting behind me while I'm dying, fighting for my life, fighting for wind. But now I got to sit on his wheel for a little while, and
It's a beautiful thing, technology.
Yeah. How's it going, man? Courtney, how's the dog? That when Gripham and I are riding, that's actually the speed that we climb.
that's silly, absolutely silly.
Do you guys do Zwift and stuff in the winter, or do you
Yeah.
go outdoors and like a real like?
I used to. I had a single speed Jameis Dragon mountain bike that was like my snowmobile, and I just threw like heavy ass wire bead, heavy tread tires, and I would just go ride dirt roads. And I've gotten to be an indoor cat in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
It's just part of it is just the dressing up for going out.
Yeah.
And actually for a few years there, David, we both had fat bikes, and I lived by Indian Trails where they were grooming that for fat biking. It's like, oh, great, I'll get a fat bike and I'll go out there and ride. But it's like, it takes you 30 minutes to get dressed. In that time, I could be halfway done with my ride. So
Yeah.
Zwift is just taking over.
We're
Yeah.
big Zwift nerds.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I don't ride out in the cold. I'm a Swift guy.
yeah.
Yeah, we've been into it for. I remember I actually started it a long time ago. I was like a beta tester for Zwift, like pre-release, and had a blast with it. And then it took off, of course, and now it's like second nature for most. But yeah, I love Zwift for what it is. You know, it's really grown a lot, and the engagement factor has just increased quite a bit over the years.
You do group rides and stuff.
Yeah.
And racing and like, are you part of the Dirty Mitten and all that
Yeah.
stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
the races weren't so early in the morning.
They're very early. Yeah, I did a Thursday morning team time trial with them this winter, and it started at 6 every Thursday. It was fun, but it was an early start.
Yeah, I do CrossFit stuff in the winter and Zwift, but like, I just comparing my numbers of starting a workout at 6 a.m. versus starting a workout at noon.
Yeah.
It's amazingly different how shitty my numbers are at 6 a.m. And I get up every day at 4:30 for work. So it's not even like I'm not up and it's like weird for me. It's just,
Your body's trained to like, no, we don't ride till this time.
yeah, we don't get up and do this.
Yeah.
Maybe 9:30 if you're
Yeah.
lucky, buddy.
One of my friends actually started the whole dirty mitten race thing. Yeah. And I have been poor about it, but this year I'm going to be better. I'm going into this winter motivated. I'm going to stay fit. I'm not going to like slack off and drink beer between Christmas or Thanksgiving and New Year's.
I'll believe it when I.
Yeah,
totally
right.
believe you.
I was gonna say, I'll believe that when I see it. But
Wait, which ones is it? No, New
Yeah.
Year's.
I actually I wish Zwift would have happened earlier in my racing career, because it actually it's at least early on in the winter for me. It's something to kind of look forward to, and we can do group rides and stuff like that. But all the way through, when I was a junior, when we were first getting into cycling, you just had a TV, and you had your Cyclops trainer, or you had in college we had these CompuTrainers, and you could still race each other, but it was literally like a little guy moving across the screen, and it would just get harder when
It's like
you
a
hit
treadmill
a hill.
where you see the pegs
Yeah.
go up and down.
So, yeah, I will just say all the youngsters out there, they're very privileged to have Zwift now, because it's makes it bearable. Because before it's just you're staring at a brick wall, or you're staring at a TV watching other people
Yeah.
ride bikes.
I mean,
or
when
whatever.
we were seriously racing, I really didn't. I mean, I would go out on that single speed mountain bike, on the weekends, or I might ride around Reed's Lake during the week. But for the most part, it was all cross training in the wintertime. There wasn't David would go to warmer climates because he could, but for me locally, it was I just I'd go for a run, or I'd work out in the gym or whatever, and then you kind of pick it back up when you can get back outside when the ground thawed a little bit. But now to be able to just get in group rides, and it's to Matt's point, it's a huge community now. We set up group rides, or you just jump in whatever's on Zwift, and it's an easy way to get a workout
You
in.
can be sitting on the shitter on a Saturday morning with a coffee and go, I think I'll join that one in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Boom, you're good.
Yep.
It's great. I love seeing different, of course there's all these pro cyclists out there that do it, and that's fun. You see maybe one of them pop up here or there. They'll do the rides where you can join them, but every once in a while you'll see there's celebrities on there too. And one that little known fact perhaps for many, but Gordon Ramsay, the amazing chef, is an avid cyclist. And he's deep into Zwift.
I did not know
Please
that.
tell me his microphone is on in the
It would be
Discord.
amazing.
Talk some smack on
Just
that.
cursing at it.
But yeah, so of course, if you follow somebody on Zwift, it'll say, oh yeah, Gordon Ramsay started Zwifting, and you can join them, right? So he'll have a whole pack of people riding with him.
Unbelievable.
It's fun. I mean,
Waiting to get
it's-
yelled at.
Yeah, it's such a
Your
such a
boss is
crazy
shit.
situation. Yeah, exactly.
He's got more guys around him than Chris Froome.
Engage your core.
I will shut this ride down.
Shut it down.
Do you guys do group rides for your team then? Or
Yeah, yeah, we do. We usually get into a rhythm, maybe once a week. Saturday, do a pseudo longer one. Not anything crazy, but it's just fun. It's fun to. Even if you're not together physically, you still get this thing to look forward to. And then, of course, there's some incredible group rides just in general, like the Dirty Mitten style situation, right? It's so well run. The amount of detail that goes into that. They have some folks there that sort of run the show, and all the background work to set that up it's very impressive.
Yeah, we do a banded group ride. I think it's Thursday nights that we do it, that we post out, and
Amazing.
it allows all of us to kind of ride together. A couple people pull, a couple people hang on the back, and
Set their e-bike up on the trainer.
Oh, mine's even worse. Some people cheat. Some people make it harder for themselves. So I've got this NordiTrack studio bike.
Oh yeah.
It's got the fancy touchscreen, beautiful. But if you don't pay for the subscription, you don't get shit. So I found a cheap set of Favreau like power meter pedals, and I've got it linked up with a little 2x2 wooden frame for my laptop,
Okay.
and got everything linked up with a USB dongle, but I have to manually adjust the resistance.
Oh yeah.
He's
yeah.
real fast
So-
on downhills.
Because I can just crank the resistance
Yeah.
to the moon, but it really takes the realness and like the element of you're actually riding something, and
Yeah.
your bike's adapting to what the terrain
Right.
is.
Right.
So makes it hard.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. These guys are crushing Zwift, but
Alan's is my Zwift master. He's my Mr. Miyagi. Whenever I have a question or like can't get anything to work, I'm like, hey, can you come troubleshoot this? Normally, like the studio when it's not at Cannonsburg is in my basement, and we have the Zwift bike right there. Like I think Craig was the first guest we ever had on because he was originally a guest that came on a couple times,
Okay.
and then we had someone step away and he filled in the role. But I think he was the first guest we put on the Zwift in between, because we used to do like 2 episodes at a time.
Uh-huh.
So like in the middle of the 2 episodes, we threw him on the trainer and we put him on like the hill climb in like Watopia, like the little one right by the city there.
Mm-hmm.
He's
and
like,
the second episode suffered as a result.
We had to pause for a vomit cleanup.
Yeah, everyone likes to talk smack about Zwift and say, oh, it's not real ride until we stick them on it. And they're out of breath in the first minute.
I will say that the flip side of that is, with Zwift, you've gotten a lot of people that are very fit that can't handle a bike.
yeah.
We've
Well, at least a
learned
road bike. Like I am so terrified in the group. And
Yeah.
It's because I only ride Zwift. I'm bad at drafting. I've
Yeah.
been 4
It-
group rides ever, and I'm like
Yeah.
just tucked in like a little hamster.
We've seen it at Grattan for sure. You know,
Since
these-
COVID, especially, because
Yeah,
everybody
these-
was indoors doing, Zwift
Yeah.
rides.
At the end of the day, it's a good thing. You know, you've got more people on bikes and more people going out to Grattan. We love it, but there are some early season races out there where somebody's pretty fit. You know, they're hanging in, and they don't know to maybe keep their inside pedal up into the corner, right? Yeah, stuff like that, right? Things you learn, and the hope is that most of them learn quickly, but sometimes not.
Are there dynamics within a pack that, I guess I'll back up a little bit by saying we only follow certain people closely on a downhill trail, because I know you, I know where you're going to make good decisions, potentially bad decisions, I know how you jump, yada yada.
We ride real close. Like we're closer than drafting at 20 miles an hour down Boyne Highlands, 3 White Claws in.
He knows Craig like squashes this drop and goes long. I'm no risk of me hitting him, or he's slow as hell through this section. I got to check up. Is there a lot of that dynamic within a pack? Like, are you profiling people
Oh yeah.
as you're riding?
Yeah.
Oh, for
in
sure.
In a
Yep.
group?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Everyone has a Rolodex of everybody else, I feel. You know, by the end of a Grattan season, especially for people that are out there every Wednesday, you know exactly who everyone is and what they do. Yeah.
You have to do that in a mixed field, and that's what Grattan is. I mean, if you're racing purely like a big national pro race or something like that, you might be familiar with some guys. Yes, I mean, there might be some guys that are a little sketchy. Other guys take more risk maybe. Other guys are a little bit more timid and smart where they place themselves. But at Grattan, you just have to be kind of, I mean, we go out there enough that you just know the group out there, and you just know maybe a lot of the ability. I would say probably 90% of the guys out there totally capable and know what to do and what not to do. And then accidents do happen too, and you just can't control it. We had a couple incidents, but
It's not unlike what you were talking about. Like, you guys ride and you're buzzing tires the whole time. When we go on the trail, we do the same thing. But out there, you have a bailout, because you're not on a 2-foot wide trail. You're on a 25-yard wide track. I'm just guessing,
Yeah.
but you have more bailouts, but you still within the group, because it is, it's rather than just being single file, you got to pay attention to who's on your right and your left and all those kinds of things. But you have more bailouts, so you feel comfortable being closer to somebody that maybe you wouldn't do on a mountain bike, but
Sure.
out there it's like, okay, I got bailouts. I know I'm clear on the right. I'm clear on the left. You know.
And it's
can-
way more important to keep a draft than.
Oh, yeah.
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 Oh, there's
Yeah.
just no. And one thing that's nice about Grattan is like if you're falling out, you just stop and wait for him to come back around. You jump back in.
Yeah.
That's how I learned I had a flat tire. I was waiting. Do you think with the growth of it over the last couple of years, do you think there'll be a C class ever? Because
Probably
like
use one.
There's been years where Brian did like women's only races because mainly the women race in the B class, and he'll do a women's only. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like the legacy of it is you want to come out. The nice thing that they have added is if you want to race or ride, not race, ride the track before all the racing starts, it's like $5. Get on the track, you just sign a waiver to like for insurance purposes. $5, you can go ride for 45 minutes before the race starts, just to like ride the track and get a workout or whatever. I don't know if you'd ever go to a ABC though.
Yeah, the bees
That would-
have grown a lot for sure.
and the
the tough-
average speed's gone up so much that
It has.
like I know a lot of people that are intimidated to go there just because of that.
Yeah.
Like-
the tough thing for them is that, like, so the A's, we put our number on the right side. The scoring people are on the right side of the road. The B's, they put their number on the left side. The scoring people are on the left side. So if you had a third group, and a lot of times A's breaks into 4 groups or more, B's breaks into groups. So then if you've got a third group out there, it would really complicate scoring.
You'd have
Which,
to run
you
it
know,
before.
kinda be you'd have to do it separate.
Like 6 o'clock start for the C's, and then 6:45 for the A's and the B's, or something like that.
Yeah.
But
So
it is something interesting with the B's, right? And you see, one thing you'll notice is that over the years, I mean, I think you guys have been doing it for 20 years. I've been doing it for 11 or 10 or 11. But you see these sort of ebbs and flows with the B's. There's certain years where the B's are really fast and the group is big, and that's great. And then naturally some of them will escalate their way into the A's, and the attrition of the group, people fall out of the sport, whatever it may be, and then in 3 years' time you might have a field of 22 people in the B's, and you're kind of like, we got to get more people out here.
This year was really strong, though.
It's just these waves of that occur, but there's a lot of guys in the B's, and in the A's as well has also like it was really fast this year. It's challenging for sure.
I've heard. I mean, I'm sure you guys don't like it, but I've heard that if you have the little bit of extra horsepower, so just the A's is a lot safer than the B's
Oh, yeah.
because everyone knows what they're doing. But then you're the guy that doesn't know what they're doing.
I'd say generally the A's is less sketchy, yeah.
Yeah.
Overall.
It's less surgy.
Less
So
surgy.
we just, in the B's, you've got probably less experienced riders, so you brake for some of the corners. A's, most of those guys have been out there for 5+ years and know the track and know where what the speed limit is in every situation. So the average speed is just higher. There's not as much surge where it's braking and then it going. That's what makes the B's hard, though, is like you brake and then you got to sprint out of it and catch back on. It's taxing.
And I think to do it again, it will be in the beginning of the season when I'm not worried about wrecking someone else's season that they built up. Because that really made it difficult. I tried to get Kellen to come out with me that one day. You couldn't come out that early. I think your kids had an open house or something.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and I definitely want to do it again. And the thought of riding like a road bike, I would have shuddered and hated myself. But after a couple years of Zwift, and then being on a closed course where I don't have to worry about cars, I only got to worry about the
huge.
riders next to me.
Yeah.
It really was fun. And just the fact that we were like cruising at like 23 miles an hour, and I'm not even like trying really,
Yeah.
was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun place to go fast on a bike for sure.
The need for speed is different. But the one thing like that's kind of weird is I'm not used to my front tire hitting my front foot.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of mountain bike coaching and like coach like advanced classes and stuff, and like we're always level pedals and turns. Don't drop your outside foot. It's the worst thing you could do on a mountain bike. And you get on the road bike and you're like, I gotta drop my outside foot.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna hit my toe and I'm gonna like really wreck something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way too.
What school did you go to?
So I went to Marion University
Yeah.
down in Indy. So, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had David Brower on
Oh, okay.
uh,
Yeah.
a few episodes ago, and
Yeah.
that's cool. I was debating because like you're old enough that there's not that many teams that would have been like cycle focused, and if you went to Lindsey Wilson, you would have went with like a couple of my other friends.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, oh, I wonder if we went to Lindsey Wilson.
No, no. I went to Marion. I had a buddy of mine, Derek Woody, in town. He was an alumni there and introduced me to Marion, and so I was finishing up high school, and that was one of the first places I checked out. I checked out Lee's McRae too.
Down in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, because I wanted to be. My first thought was I want to be in the mountains because I wanted to be a climber, but I ended up going to Marion, and I don't regret it at all. It was actually a really good experience, and I mean we won a couple national championships on the road and on the track while I was there too. So and now they're winning mountain bike and cyclocross and all that kind of stuff too. So
What's awesome that you helped build a good program.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's not just like the people involved in like coaching and stuff, but like the riders really helped develop a program. I was the ultimate frisbee coach at Grand Valley for 10 years, and we developed a huge program, and it's amazing to see like the growth in a program like that based on like the riders, the excitement of the riders. Success helps. Losing doesn't help, but
Yeah.
you guys did a really good job of building up in the middle of Indianapolis a
Yeah,
cycling juggernaut.
yeah.
I was gonna say, since David, you've got, like you mentioned, David Brower, you got Judah Gustafson,
Now
Chris Bohr's son Garrett's
Garrett's
there.
down there. Yep.
There's been a few others I feel like out of the area that have gone there.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's like when I first showed up, we didn't even have. I mean, we had a track team. That's what they were known for, is the velodrome, and they had won, many national championships before on the velodrome. And it helps the fact that they have a velodrome literally down the street from campus. Major Taylor is like literally a par 5 from the actual school, so it's just very convenient. They've got a great setup down there. So that Lake Sullivan sports complex that they have, the city actually pretty much partnered with the college to have the college run the facility. So they turned that into, there's a BMX track there that had been there pre-existing, but they beefed it up and made it legitimate again. And then they host some cyclocross races there. And then the mountain bike team was just starting, and the cyclocross team were just starting when my sophomore year there. But it's just, I mean, you wouldn't think in Indianapolis that you'd have a team that could win a national championship outside of the track because of just the pancake flat terrain that you're dealing with and the big city that you're in. But I mean, we made it work. We'd put the work in, and we would do training camps down south. And it's just grown. Like the school has definitely put a lot of resources into the team and allowed them to be as successful as they are. And the coach was a huge part of that too when I first started. I mean, without that coach, they probably wouldn't have grown nearly as much as they did. So from all the different disciplines that they ended up expanding into. So, but it's good to see Grand Rapids kids going down there and racing. I mean, I think I was one of the first Michigan guys since my friend Derek Woody had been there, and I mean, now there's every couple of years I hear of somebody local in Grand Rapids going to Marion. So, yep.
It's a testament to like how big the cycling community is in this area, because just like you wouldn't expect like a college in Indianapolis to be super good at cycling, but at one point Michigan had more UCI downhill racers than any other state put together, I think.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had Shane Leslie, we had Dakota, we had there was like 3 or 4 of them just from Michigan, whether it be the east side or the west side, and it was like, why are these people doing it? And it's because like the passion and like the local vibe is so good that it gets you excited to ride, and you get to session these things and like really push.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's great to hear. Like, I guess I've never heard that, other than like Brent Bookwalter, I don't
Yeah.
know of any other road riders that went on, but it's just because I'm ignorant to it. Not
You still got a few. Well, you got Larry Warbass.
Yeah, Larry Warbass.
Is on Tudor.
we heard about him last episode, and we still don't know who he is.
Alexi Vermeulen
Yeah.
was on Jumbo for a number of years.
Yeah.
And then you've got
BMC.
a lot of guys that BMC Jumbo. You got a lot of guys that look. I mean, even on our team, you got David raced on a number of different Pro Continental teams.
Carl.
Carl Menzies.
Carl Menzies was. I mean, yeah. So there's a lot of local talent. It's just it's kind of a hidden gem, I guess. as far as cycling goes.
The Midwest has gotten kind of a bad rap with whether it could produce talent. I think in cycling specifically, for a long time, like you had to be from Colorado or you had to be from California, something like that. But I think the tables have turned a little bit. I mean, a lot of the Midwest school like Marion and Indianapolis is. I mean, obviously there's a lot of transfer athletes and things like that from other states, but a lot of those kids are, from the Midwest, and they're talented, and they're beating kids that live in Boulder in a road race at 10,000 feet, So there's a lot of good talent out there, and like the list of names we just rattled off. That's just proof right there. But I think Brent went to Lees McRae, which is why I was looking at Lees McRae, but
Yeah.
Well, you guys got any future plans for the podcast or eclipses, or what do you guys got in the future for you?
Yeah, for sure. So 2017 was the initiative for it all. And as David mentioned earlier, 2024, it's pretty rare to have 2 eclipses in that short of a succession. 7 years feels like a long time, but in the case of eclipses and celestial events, it's very close to have 2 that close together in the United States. For example, the next one in the United States isn't until 2044. And it's a very small one, and then again in 2045, which will be another fun time. But then after that, not again until 2090 something, right? So that's usually the cadence. And so 7 years in between, 2024 last year, it was what very well could have been the culmination of everything we did. We could have said, yeah, we hit the eclipse and that we accomplished our goal. We inspired some folks to go, and we're good, we're done, But we knew that wasn't the case, and that's a lot due in part to the cycling team and to the evolution that the podcast has taken, and it's sort of become this mantra of ours, like the little hashtag we use on Instagram is get out, look up, right? Like get outside and look up at the night sky, and just enjoy being a human being and being outside and going cycling and all this. So it's taken on this bigger community, I guess, that's not just the niche eclipse chasers. And so with that said, we're full steam ahead.
And I would say with regard to the cycling team, we never had any intention of it becoming something big. It was like us, again, during COVID, let's make a jersey that says Eclipse on tap on it. And then it kind of became like all of our good friends from the teams that we'd been on were, maybe not looking or anything, but it was like, I like what you guys are doing. Kind of all fit the same mold. We're married and jobs and kids and that kind of thing, and just want to be a part of like a good group of people. And it's kind of grown from there. And then we kind of had the discussion like a year ago or so, just like, do we want to allow more on, or do we just want to keep it like this core group of us? And it's turned out that like we found some great people, like people that have joined us have said, hey, we got a guy, that we got Andy just moved back from Belgium. Is it Army Ranger over there?
Yeah.
Going into his retirement, lived in Germany, loves Underberg, and got hooked up with us through one of our guys. And it's like, all right, that fits. Let's take him on. So the cycling team has gotten bigger, but it's also still like a close-knit group of us, and which is what we always want to keep it. We don't want to become the biggest team or anything.
No.
It's like, as long as you're like-minded, come on board.
Yeah, it's an intimate group in that way, and it's been a special thing to see it grow, and the podcast as well. So there are some other eclipses coming up in addition to all that, right? And they're all global, so we're taking this thing on the road. 2026 next year, there's going to be a small eclipse that will start in Iceland and make its way across most of that eastern Atlantic down into the tip of Spain. 2027 is the eclipse of the century, they call it. It'll be a 7.5-minute totality. It's the longest eclipse in the century. And it goes through southern Spain, through the Middle East. I think the center point is somewhere near Egypt, and then down through there. And then in 2028, that's the one we've really got our sights set on, because it, in the same way that the 2017 eclipse traversed the U.S. starting in the Oregon area and then down through South Carolina in that direction, same exact pattern, but applied to the continent of Australia. And we have two teammates, Carl Menzies and Gary Ryan. Carl was a former pro on UHC and a good friend, and then Gary is the owner of I-13.
He's on the schedule.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll get him.
Him and his wife.
Yeah, very good friend. Gary and Teresa Ryan are great people, and so both of them are Carl and Gary are native Australians. Carl from Tasmania, he's a Tasmanian devil. But it's a special thing, I think, for them, right? We're going to be able to go back to their home continent, and we're grateful for Gary because he's got family there still, so we've got some connections. So that's ones we really have our sight set. I would say 2028 is what 2024 was for us, right? If you consider 2017 to 2024, we had this big push, and yes, there's 26, yes, there's 27, just as there were eclipses in between 17 and 24. There was one in 2019 in Patagonia, Chile, and David and I were like, we're all in, right? And then you get closer to it, and you're like, oh man, this is going to cost a lot of money, and it just never really happened. And that was okay. We gave ourselves a lot of grace in that regard. But same thing with this. 2028 is like for sure happening. If 26 or 27 happen, great. I think we have some teammates of ours that are actually going to go to those, and that's amazing. But yeah, 2028 is the next big frontier, down under.
Down under.
Down under.
Yep. Families and all.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's
a lot of flying with family.
Oh yeah, middle of the summer, 2028. We'll be down in Australia. It's gonna be a blast. So that's the next big checkpoint. And then beyond that, I foresee it. We'll keep it rocking. I mean, why not, right? So.
Is it middle of summer for us or middle of summer for them?
Middle of summer for us. So it'll be sort of.
It'll be like this temp there.
Yeah, sort of spring.
60 is their winter.
Yeah, winter into spring for them at that time period. So, but yeah, really excited for that. And yeah, in the meantime, there's just a lot going on. We just had a lunar eclipse this last weekend. Those are much more frequent when the moon turns that blood red color. So there's a lot of stuff like that keeps us excited. In general, space exploration events, SpaceX Starship launches.
I wanted to get there. I wanted to ask what has you guys excited in the realm of space exploration, because you got Jeff Bezos,
the flying penis.
You've got Elon Musk,
the phallic flyer, we call that one.
Everybody's coming at reusable rocketry, and like, what do you guys have your eyes on? What should people pay attention to?
I mean, I'm excited about Artemis, which is NASA's program, and that thing's, I think, going to be further ahead as far as getting people to orbit the moon. I mean, they're talking next year for the manned space flight to the moon, which is going to be similar to Apollo 8's path, just a figure 8 around the moon.
That's just around the moon, not landing on the moon.
They're not landing on the moon yet, but they already have that pretty much on the schedule. No later than, I want to say even possibly April of next year. So coming up pretty quick. I just read about that the other day. And then all the SpaceX stuff, I mean, you just never know with them. They're one day they're having a rough day, and then the next month they come out all guns a-blazing and they're blowing our hair back. So
for me, it's SpaceX for that reason, just because the rate at which they do things. It's like once they knock it out, like I've been a couple times in Florida where you're just watching these Falcon 9s go up launching Starlinks or whatever, and it's become such a routine thing for them that I think once they get Starship going, it's just, whether they're going to the moon or Mars or, launching the next ISS or whatever it is, like it's so rapid with them. That's what excites me the most.
What do you think is the most impressive thing watching a spaceship go?
Landing the booster back in the
catching it.
Oh, it's so wild.
Chopsticks come out. And
that's something that SpaceX has a feather in their cap amongst other space exploration companies or NASA or other governments, is that they do things like that. They do these seemingly unbelievable things. I mean, the first time Falcon Heavy, which is essentially a Falcon 9 with 2 other Falcon 9 boosters attached to it left and right to form this triad of rockets. That launched in 2019, and that was, if you recall, when the 2 side boosters came back down and they landed at the exact same time, like something out of a science fiction movie. And seeing that happen live, not on the stream, of course, I would have loved to have been there, but that was like emotional almost. I mean, it was so wild. It really it inspired you. So yeah, they've got some incredible stuff. And then you mentioned Jeff Bezos with Blue Origin, and they stepped into that game with the commercial tourism side more, like launching this small rocket, the New Shepard, that just goes to orbit for 10 minutes. Katy Perry rides it, whatever, comes back down. And that's great. You spend $250 to get a ticket, and up you go. And
250,000.
Sorry, 250,000. Yeah, 250.
Same thing.
250K. You go up, you do your little. It's like a little carnival ride, right? But they've stepped into a realm, on par with SpaceX with their New Glenn rocket, which launches out of Cape Canaveral, and they had their initial pilot launch, and it went like perfectly. They had no issues with it whatsoever, and it's a similar size rocket to the Starship. It's enormous, and it's using a different technology for how it's propelling itself. So it's kind of a different page out of the book, but it's very cool to see. And they're all pushing each other, of course. And Artemis is an interesting one because for a long time on the podcast, even in the early days, like SpaceX was just leapfrogging over NASA with all these things they were doing. And we always wondered, like, I mean, NASA's the OG, right? They made it to the moon. They made it to all these beautiful space shuttle missions. What's going on? Why is it taking
funding kept getting cut too? Yeah.
Totally. They have all these hurdles, right? Being a governmental organization, and then out of the blue, a few Aprils ago when they launched Artemis for the first time, it was like, okay, wow, they're like right back up there. They were in the quiet for a long time, and SpaceX is climbing all these ladder rungs, and then boom, Artemis is there. They had that picture where the capsule went past the moon, and there was no one on it, but it took a photo of both the moon and the Earth in the same frame, and you're just like, SpaceX hasn't done that,
Yeah.
So they're all different in their own ways, and it's a very interesting time.
The Tesla convertible in space.
That was the fucking
Rocket Man.
Yeah, that was that same mission where they came down together and they landed, and that was such a surprise too. They had the middle booster, and it just opened that fairing up, and there's a Tesla Roadster. We're like, what is going on?
Because why not?
Yeah, why not? And they sent that thing. We actually had a guy on the podcast who was I think he was he a mathematician or a physicist or something, and he was an interesting guy, but he found an algorithm to track the Starman. So you can go on his website. I think it's whereisroadster.com, and
That's awesome.
You can see where it is, even to this day. It's
My favorite rumor out of that was a guy that got caught having relations with Elon Musk's wife, and he launched
him in a
his
space
body
suit.
into space.
Adios.
looked like a mannequin, but
I got a question for you guys.
Ooh.
If your ticket's paid, do you get on Blue Origin and go up for a 10-minute, is it 10 minutes?
yeah,
10 minutes of
10-minute total flight maybe.
of weightlessness. You're thrill seekers. You're downhillers.
Yeah, I mean,
250K, you going?
I
No,
typically try
the
not
ticket's
to
paid.
Oh, it's paid.
It's paid.
I typically say no to nothing. It's kind of the
I'd
for
do it,
stuff like
but
that.
But the conspiracy was fake anyways, right?
Is the body of the shuttle made of carbon fiber?
No.
And is it controlled with a Logitech game controller?
You should listen to our last episode.
Blue Origin or
Ocean Gate.
Ocean Gate.
Oh man.
I would go
absolutely.
up over down.
I would go up over down. Yep.
Agreed.
Less
Yeah,
pressure is better than more pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had an episode literally last month, or a couple weeks ago, where there's a good friend of ours, Dr. Gordon Telepin, who is, you mentioned Destin from Smarter Every Day. Smarter Every Day's Eclipse mentor is Dr. Gordon Telepin. He is the subject matter expert. This dude is a genius with it. He's the Eclipse chaser, and he lives down in
Dream
Alabama.
guest for you guys, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, when
He's
we've
been
had
on
him
a number of times.
Cool.
Yeah, he's been on I think 3 times now, and he's such a wonderful resource. So we've had him on for Eclipse stuff, of course. But then he's found this unique interest. I don't know how the man has the time, but he's diehard into the Titan submersible tragedy. Like all the engineering, he's very interested in it. And so we had him on just something different to talk through the Titan, we were pretty blown away. There's
Yeah.
just so many details. Of course, these new documentaries are out. They tell the story well, but he literally, he has a full-time, he's a surgeon by day. And then by night he's writing a 310-page textbook about the Titan.
And why it failed.
My girlfriend's so into that. I struggled through it. I'm like, yeah, it's carbon fiber. It's gonna break. Bikes don't even last that long, and you're gonna drive a submarine to the Titanic? Come on.
Oh, it's a wild story. Yeah, very tragic, of course, but the engineering side of it. Yeah, his book is called Titan to the Titanic 13 and a half times. Stories about bad decisions made.
He's very precise with his titles.
Yeah.
But speaking of like the first thing we talked about is one of the first things we talked about is first Eclipse experience. He's got an app that will guide you through your Eclipse experience. So it's called the Eclipse Timer.
I listened
app.
to this episode.
And
Attaboy.
He'll literally, you just go on the app, you geolocate based on where you're at, and in totality or outside of totality, he'll tell you exactly. It's his voice prompting you as far as what to look for on the ground, in the sky, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, very helpful for if you journey off to a eclipse. So.
Yeah, incredible resource.
Well, as it's getting dark and the lights aren't on out here, we have to clean up.
Underbergs?
Yeah,
I want to do that after. Between
Okay.
this and the intro, we
Heck
can
yeah.
take a selfie and
All right.
Yeah.
Heck
check
yeah.
some Underbergs.
I love that.
Yeah.
But you guys, I want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
You're high on my list of local people to get in that we could talk to like this and sit here. Sorry everyone for the bird noises. We're outside today.
I think it's better than the chatty group that was.
Oh yeah, the Loot
Table
and Loops.
over.
The Loot and Loops group were really proud of
They were having
themselves
some
tonight.
libations.
Yeah. You guys want to go over any sponsors and stuff and
Socials.
And where people can find you.
Yeah, for
all,
sure.
all the things, but I mean, even before that, just thanks a lot because hour and 20 minutes went by real fast.
It did, yeah. No, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Always fun to talk bikes and share a little bit about Eclipses and whatnot. So appreciate the opportunity. But from the social side, we're at Eclipse on Tap pretty much everywhere, right? Instagram, Facebook, X, Threads, whatever. And then of course Apple Podcasts and Spotify are our main two, just as all your listeners I'm sure are aware. But any podcast platform, of course, it's just the RSS feed that pushes it out. It's a beautiful thing. And then we're actually going to start getting into some more video podcasting. We've done a few actually. Anytime we've had Gordon, I was just mentioning on, it's been our pilot to try some video stuff. So that's coming next year or even at the tail end of this year, and excited about that. But yeah, from a partner standpoint, Underberg is we have a lot to be thankful for Underberg. They're a special group of people, as Nathan was describing earlier. I think before the podcast, it's this seemingly ancient recipe, right? It's been around since the 1840s, and it's just a very cool product, and we're proud to partner with them. And there's so many. Vi13.
I'll
Gary.
throw out speciation if you guys don't have anything going on. September 20th, it's the third release of Under Brew, which is a beer collab that we put together between Underberg, ourselves, and speciation. We wrap it like an Underberg bottle, and it's a really cool presentation. But if you don't have anything going on the 20th, Saturday afternoon,
Yep, 12
come
to
out
5.
there. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's going to be the third annual release.
And this will be out before then because I post the episodes on Sunday night.
Heck
Beautiful.
So
Love that.
Anybody listening, come on out.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. 12 to 5. It's a fun product. If you're familiar with Speciation's ales, they're characteristically tart, sour. They do non-sours as well, but the beer has characteristic tartness, and then it fades in. We brew it with Underberg herbs, so it's got this herbal back end to it, and yeah, it's a fun product. And
And if you get a top that's wrapped in, or that it's dipped in gold wax, you get swag from us and from Underberg and
the
from
golden ticket.
Speciation. It's a golden ticket winner.
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
Sold.
Absolutely.
99% of them are green, but if you get a gold one, you get swag.
It's a special product.
love it. I'm into it.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys. I definitely learned a lot this episode. And we appreciate you teaching us and everything you do. Like always, guys, remember to keep progressing, keep pushing yourself, and have fun. Thanks. Bye.
Cheers.
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 sound doesn't appear to be
I
on.
can hear you.
It doesn't.
I
appear
can.
to be
I can
You
hear
just
you.
can't hear yourself?
on. I can hear
I
myself.
can hear you.
I can't hear myself.
All right, did
Whatever.
you plug your mic or your headphones in?
Here.
Well, why don't you first put them into your own headphones? Are they wireless headphones?
Yeah.
Can you hear yourself now?
No. Just thought people normally just take care of these things.